Coming to you live from the irrigated farmland of the plain of Amonkhet. This is Tap Tap Concede.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. How's it going, everybody?
We're human.
We're all...
Absolutely, 100% human.
We are here and live and filled with meats.
Mm-hmm.
Except we left 5 pieces of our meat in little tiny cans.
It's true. Anyway, I'm Cameron.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Kathleen. And this is Tap Tap Concede, which is a casual magic podcast.
Yeah. Brought to you by...
I was about to say, to get that out of the way quickly, it's brought to you by Card Kingdom, our wonderful sponsor. Card Kingdom, in case you aren't aware, is a brick and mortar and online magic retailer. They have 2 very cool stores in Seattle, but you can also visit them online. And if you do and you want to buy cards, you can use the custom URL cardkingdom.com/LRR. And then when you buy your stuff, you can put "Lure sent me button, please" in your order, and you'll get a button. It's very cool.
Does that mean they have brick counters?
It's
Yes.
quite possible. Now the brick and mortar store, now we need mortar counters.
Who do you think is
something.
going to be the first fool to use actual
Like bricks?
red bricks?
I'm sure
just
it'll
for-
be done and
for
it'll
a
be
laugh?
or Lego bricks.
Ooh!
Lego bricks would be good brick counters.
Yeah.
Would.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be good. Also, this
Hilarious.
this podcast is brought to you by you, our generous supporters on our Patreon, patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun. We thank you for all your support. It lets us do things like this, which is make very sort of painful, tortured, straining jokes about brick counters. So, money well spent.
Yeah, it's like, way to go, guys.
Build them up.
All right, crack a pack?
Let's move on to crack, but we're so efficient today.
Later. Goodbye. I'll miss you.
Goodbye, Mr. Dice. Ooh, 19.
19.
Good
Ooh.
roll, Cameron.
3, 4,
So
5.
we're gonna crack this pack.
3,
And then
4,
I think we're gonna
5.
talk about Amonkhet.
Yeah, because
and
it's very exciting, and some Modern Masters experiences, I
Yeah,
think.
it's kind of a grab bag episode today.
19.
What?
Legends.
Oh, are you ready
Spicy.
to Cam? Are you ready to see some cards you've never seen in your life
Yeah,
before?
absolutely. This is Legends is a really interesting set because they keep adding new cards to
I
it that
know.
I've never seen.
Yeah, you were talking about the Berenstain Rift earlier.
Yeah.
This set continues to confound me because every once in a while I will see a card from this set that I have never seen before.
Yes.
This would be a good pack for Stump the Vargas.
Ooh.
Anyhow, this was...
And what's in this set? There's
There's a couple of playables.
Pendrell Vale in this set, isn't there?
No.
Isn't Tabernacle in this set?
I have literally no idea what's in this set.
My pulse is
Mana-
rising.
Like,
Okay, let's
Mana
just-
Drain
let's
is in
just
this
see.
set.
Hold on. First of all, this pack was given to us by Imat Paywit? P-A-Y... Paywit. I'm so sorry. The writing, we've had this pack for so long, the writing's a little rubbed off.
Yeah.
But it does say Imat. So thank you so much for the
Yeah,
pack.
who is from our chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tabernacle,
Oh, Jesus.
Moat,
Ooh.
Oh,
Chains of Mephistopheles, Nether Void, The Abyss, Mana Drain, Eureka, Living Plane, All Hallows Eve, Invoke Prejudice.
we're going to get that one. That 100%.
Yeah.
That's
Are
gonna be
all over $100.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, they've got some spicy stuff here.
Handle
Now,
with care.
I would also like
I'm
to-
legit nervous
I
now.
wanna,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can really see it, but
This-
like the back of the pack is like Garfield Games. That's the logo. It's published by Wizards of the Coast. P.O. Box 707. 1994 Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, when their logo was still the lighthouse.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Is this pack older than Ben?
Yes, I'm going to say this pack is older than
Pack
Ben.
existed
I
before he
remember
did.
this was the set I think I just
so
barely
nervous
missed
opening
out on when I started playing.
Oh my goodness, look at how it just
But
comes
I got
apart.
there just in time for Fallen Empires.
Oh, hold on. Oh my
Is that
god.
an ad card? It's white.
Whoa, it's new to Magic the Gathering rules, specific to Legends.
Oh, this is where they actually have to
Bands with other,
Okay.
Rampage, multicolored cards. This is the first set with multicolored in them.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Enchant World, Legends and Legendary cards, of course. And then general rule clarifications. When someone changes a creature's power and toughness to specific numbers, such as 0, 2, play as if these numbers appeared in the lower right-hand corners of the card. Other cards may legally modify these numbers. I don't see why that rule needs to be clarified. But anyhow, first up...
By the way, I love that a bunch of the cards in this set are literally characters from Richard Garfield's D&D game.
That's
Yeah.
really funny.
And,
Yeah.
and like just friends of his and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
let's
all right,
start
here we go.
with Akron Legionnaire.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where the rare is, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So, okay, Akron Legionnaire. None of your non-artifact creatures may attack except Akron Legionnaire, but he is an 8/4 for 8, so what a bomb.
Yeah. Hot diggity.
4 toughness. Hype.
Wow.
Ooh, Bloodlust.
Bloodlust. Target creature gains +4/-4 until end of turn. If this reduces creature's toughness below 1, creature's toughness is 1. So you can't use this as removal.
Kinky.
Yeah.
I feel like that
almost augur spree.
that image is. It looks like they're really emphasizing the lust. That looks like somebody who is just like romantically infatuated with
Yep.
blood.
Yeah.
Not somebody
Not-
who's like in a berserker rage.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I love blood.
How about Itch Cumin Druid?
See, like, I've never seen this card before.
I don't even know how to pronounce
What
this.
is this?
Summon Druid. Its Cumin Druid does 4 damage to any opponent casting an instant. It does not apply to the first instant cast by that opponent each
So
turn.
they get
I was
don't-
so excited, and then no.
They get Dome for 4 every second instant. This is a 1/1 for one green.
Why is that? It could have been so good.
I know. It could have been so good.
Yeah.
Although it does 4 damage, so it's like costs 4 damage to kill, essentially.
Here, I'll hang on to these cards.
Yes, that sounds good. All right, so we have the Greater Realm of Preservation.
Yep.
It's an enchantment. For 1 and a white, prevents all damage against you from 1 red or black source. If a source does damage to you more than once in a turn, you must pay 1 and a white each time you want to prevent that damage. That seems good. Like,
Well, I mean, it's like Circle of Protection, red and black, for
When you need
double
it.
the cost.
Well,
I don't
certain
know,
protection you had to pay for every point.
Yeah. Oh, this is from a source.
yeah,
Oh.
that seems okay. Like,
Okay.
like, what's the first guy? The 8/4? Oh wait, he's white. Never mind.
Yeah. No.
Well, okay.
Akron Legionnaire.
Wall of Vapor. Okay, damage done to Wall of Vapor by creatures it blocks is reduced to 0. Wow, it's a 0/1 for 3 and a blue.
Like we got Wall of Fog later on, or
Yeah.
Fog Bank.
Yeah, Fogbank, which is like 2 mana, 0/4, reduced to 0, right?
Yeah.
Or was it still an
02.
01?
I think it was an
02,
02.
I mean, what does it matter?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like if you're bolting it.
I suppose. All right,
Oh, that's cool looking.
Equinox. Tap land enchanted with Equinox to counter a spell that destroys 1 or more of your lands. This ability is played as an interrupt.
I've never seen this
What?
card before.
Yeah, me neither. It's okay. It's
I like how the typesetting is off.
it's a 1 white enchant land. So it's like, okay, I'll enchant my planes, and when you strip mine it, I'll counter that ability. What?
So yeah. By the way, the Oracle text for this is enchant land. Enchant land has quote tap counter target spell if it would destroy a land you control.
Holy
Holy
shit.
spell. Pit Scorpion.
If a Pit Scorpion damages opponent gets a poison counter. If opponent has 10 or more poison counters, opponent loses the game.
This is
Yeah.
It's infect. It's got infect. Has it been retconned to
It's got
infect?
half of infect
It's got
because it doesn't inflict damages
yeah.
-1/-1
so you can't
counters.
pump it. But you can proliferate it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's neat.
This one
Yeah.
I've definitely seen before.
Enchantment Alteration. Switch target enchantment from one creature to another or from one land to another. The controller of the enchantment does not change. New target of enchantment must be valid or the spell has no effect. Treat this as if the enchantment had just been cast on the new target.
I love how verbose the
Yeah.
old cards in this game are. So this is just like
Move an
move an
enchantment.
enchantment for
Yeah.
a blue.
The Oracle
That
text
seems
is
kind of useful.
attach target aura attached to a creature or land to another permanent of that type.
Well,
Not that hard.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of things we'll see later, Amaru Kithkin. Ooh, beautiful Quentin Hoover art, which I've never actually seen before, but I recognize it as Quentin Hoover immediately. Creatures with power greater than 2 may not be assigned to block Kithkin. Blocker's power may be increased after blocking has been assigned.
All right.
It's a 1/1 for 2.
that's good.
Transmutation.
Ooh.
Until end of turn, target creature's power and toughness are switched. Effects that alter power alter toughness instead, and vice versa. And it's got some
Whoa.
flavor text from our friend Randall.
That's very
You know what I
strange.
was, you see what I am. Change me, Randall.
That's
like,
classic Randall
Yeah,
right
Neil
there.
Blomkamp just like swiped this for District 9.
Oh, totally.
Totally. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. He saw this when he was like 13.
Yep.
Yeah. Fire sprites. Flying. For green and a tap, add red to your mana pool. This ability is played as an interrupt.
What a weird ability. So
Yeah.
it filters green mana to red.
Yeah, and
It
it's
doesn't
fairies.
actually make... That's weird. It's very peculiar.
Raging Bull. It's 2/2 for 3. That's it.
I've seen that movie.
Pyrotechnics. Now, for 5 mana, it deals 4 damage divided any way you choose among any number of targets. That's 4
This
red.
actually doesn't seem that bad.
That seems honestly great.
Yeah.
It's like... Well, because I think in this case, it targets means creatures and or players.
I would hope so.
I'm pretty sure it
Yeah.
includes players.
Yeah,
All right.
that seems good.
There's one more card after this one.
Giant Strength. Target creature gains +2/+2 for red.
All right.
Now I don't know what the order they're in, so I don't know.
Well,
if this
who
is
knows?
the
Maybe
rare.
we already... Oh, it's Force
Spike.
Spike.
Oh, hey.
Target spell is countered
So which one
unless
was
its
the
caster
rare?
spends an
I'm
additional
going
one.
to say that the rare was Akron Legionnaire.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I actually have no idea. I don't know the set.
Yeah.
This
was.
one's playable as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
This
I
one's
would
actually really nice.
Yeah, the original Force Spike art. That's
Yeah,
enjoyable.
Akron Legionnaire was the rare, in fact.
Oh. We started off with disappointment. Oh, well.
We didn't even know we had lost.
Well,
At least we didn't slow roll it.
Still,
yeah,
cool pack.
very
Yeah.
cool.
I
That
th-
was really sweet.
I think my first pick from here is Pyrotechnics.
Yeah,
I mean, it's removal.
it kills Akron Legionnaire.
yeah, it really
Oh
does.
man, this giant strength is so off register.
Oh yeah, there's
Have a look at it.
like everything
wow.
is really
Yeah,
badly
the-
printed.
Yeah, that's. We succeeded in getting one of the least valuable Legends rares.
Womp
So
womp.
Well, good job, team. But I would just like to point out that everything in this pack is a little kind of off. They were printed in Belgium by Carta Mundi.
Carta Mundi.
Poor job, Carta Mundi. Poor
mind if I-
job.
Have a look.
Yeah. So
Are
thank
they
you so
all?
much.
Oh yeah, they're all just.
A little bit off.
Oh,
Weird
I think this
printing.
was during the period where WotC was using like a different printer for every set because they were trying to get a printer that could actually do what they needed.
Jeez.
Well,
the
that
Force
was fun.
Spike's nice though.
The Force Spike is
It's nice and playable.
That's why you
Yeah.
can tell the
Highlander.
difference between a lot of the early set, like especially the standard sets that don't have the icons on them.
Oh
You
yeah.
can tell the difference just because of the different qualities in printing.
Oh yeah. So you can tell where they were from, and that tells you what set it was. Neat.
Weird.
All
All right.
right, so
Yeah.
Amonkhet.
Yeah.
So Amonkhet is cool.
Yeah, so far I'm quite impressed by what we've seen from it, and we actually got to spoil some cards from it
You
as
got
well.
spoiled too.
Cat snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, Long
Well,
Cat, as
yeah.
Cameron called it.
Longcat.
The Serpapard, Prowling Serpapard.
At first I was like, what? And then Graham was like, Serpent Leopard. And I was like, a Serpapard, of course.
Yeah,
Yep.
like I really want to believe that. Okay, well, sorry, we should.
Back it up.
Yeah, before Cameron gets way off the
I
rails
mean, it
here.
should be creature type ferret since it's a cat snake. But
Exactly. This is what I was saying.
Alex, can you just lean a little bit towards Kathleen? Yeah, you're just cut off a little bit.
Like, okay, so
I'm
Prowling
looking at these
Serpapard is a
spoilers.
4/3 cat snake for 1 green.
That's already great.
Yeah, it's
Throw
got.
it in any limited deck. It's above
Yeah,
curve.
yeah, I would take this as like you would see this as a highly pickable common
Or I don't know if they do that. Common,
Like
but they'd certainly
vanilla?
do it a common.
yeah,
Or
like
uncommon, sorry, yeah.
yeah, like Colonian Tusker is kind of like a good
Yeah.
analog for this, but it has lines of text because it's a rare. Prowling Serpapard can't be countered,
Wham.
and creature spells you control can't be countered.
Double wham.
That's
So
really
this
good.
seems like a fine thing to ether violin in Highlander.
You don't need to ether violet. It can't be countered.
Yeah, but you can
Oh yeah, there you
like
just
they're trying to counter
yeah.
your like hoof.
and you're like,
nuh-uh.
nope.
Yeah,
I think there's some sort of stompy deck that wants to play this kind of as a meta call. Like if there's a lot of blue running around,
Yeah.
maybe you just like
yeah.
cut something from your like red green aggro or like
Yeah.
green something stompy, and you're just
yeah, like feeling it in my bones. There's going to be a lot of control.
there's gonna be
floating
the mana drains are up tonight.
around. Yeah, going to sleeve up Prowling Serpapard.
Wham!
Yeah.
And then you're just like, even if you don't encounter blue, it's a 4/3 for 3.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Just crumble.
Yeah.
This
Crumble
break-
into the jungle.
Honestly, it breaks an impressive streak of awful cards that we've spoiled.
Yeah, this one's actually playable.
Yeah, I would quite happily play this. Also, it is a cat snake.
Yeah, that's
This
pretty
is
great.
this is actually from Egyptian mythology.
Yeah, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Or not a
well,
real thing.
a
but
mythical thing.
I
it is
desperately
a
want to
previously
believe
existing thing.
that the serpapard is to the ferret as the unicorn is to the rhinoceros. Where at some point somebody was like, okay, I saw this thing. It's like a big animal, like four legs with a head, and it's got a horn. And like, that sounds like a horse with a horn. And it's like, not really. It's you know,
was
bigger than
bigger
that.
and
It's like, what I'm
huskier and
hearing is a
different.
horse with a horn. So we're going to call that a unicorn. And it's like, yeah, okay, fine. And this seems like somebody was trying to describe a ferret in the manner of that Reddit found animal post, where somebody was
yeah.
like, I found this animal. It seems to be some kind of cat snake. It's really long and thin like a snake, but it has teeth and fur like a cat. I don't know what it is.
Ferret.
Right? It turns out it's a ferret.
All right.
So this is you can see on the screen there, or at least you should.
Is that a serpapard?
That is a ancient Egyptian artifact that has a serpapard drawing on it.
How about that map? OC, don't steal. Are they paying royalties?
What is that? There's the line that archaeology is this theft, but 100 years later.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And also, it's got some fun flavor text. The vizier is serving Ronus, the god of strength, maintained the menagerie of animals employed during his trial. So we now, I'm assuming Ronus is the
green
snake-headed god that we've seen.
Yeah.
God
I'm-
of strength.
I'm
Interesting.
pretty
Beef.
pumped on this set, but that was not the only card we spoiled. We in fact spoiled a reprint. Mm-hmm. It was Mighty Leap.
No Mighty Leap.
No?
No.
No.
Gain 6 life. Cycle
Oh,
for
right.
1 and a white. Gain 2 life.
Oh, yeah, people are... Okay, so cycling is back in this set.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk about that.
So one-time Astral Slide reprint?
Maybe.
Probably not, but...
I actually heard that they weren't going to be doing Astral Slide.
Oh.
I think there was something that came out on the mothership today.
that's...
saying
Well,
don't get your
people were
hopes
like,
up.
don't get your hopes
But
up about Astral
you know
Slide.
what? I am
I think it was the original
crossing
was
my fingers
modern
and
templating be
toes.
damned.
Unearth reprint.
Oh god, that would
The
be great.
one
yeah.
black sorcery return like a 3-drop or less with cycling 2. That could absolutely show up in this set.
So, Renewed Faith. 2 and a white for an instant, gain 6 life. It has a line of text, which is one of the greatest lines of text ever.
When you cycle,
Cycling.
yeah, one and a white.
Cycling. With a cost. Cycling, 1 and a white. Discard this card, draw a card. When you cycle Renewed Faith, you gain 2 life. And people were like down on this card, but this
seems
was a
fine.
constructed all-star when it was first printed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I recall this being like a thing at some point. Maybe just in the Astral Slide deck, but
Yeah, like
this is
at instant speed, drawing a card, like at end of turn, drawing a card and gaining 2 life, seems like a fine thing for a control deck to do.
Honestly, yeah.
People used to play, what was it?
Think twice. Well, that was card advantage, but
Yeah.
like you never not cycle this, eh?
Unless you're
like
getting your
unless you're desperate.
ass handed to you, but yeah.
But so yeah, I mean, I guess the question is, how good is 1 and a white if it was just 1 and a white?
Draw a
Gain two
card.
life.
Draw a
draw a
card,
card.
2 life, yeah.
Probably
I mean,
not
here's-
great, but like having the modality essentially to it.
Yeah.
It has modality, and I feel like there's got to be cards that reward things going into your bin. There's got to be something that like.
Oh, well,
Well,
I heard
also
people
this-
were stoked that there's Madness and cycling in the same set.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
yeah. But like cycling, because it's an activated ability, has interesting interactions because you don't actually like cast the card.
Well,
you
like, you
activate
can't
the
counter
cycling.
it as well.
Yeah.
Which is neat.
Yeah.
I love cycling.
It's also, cycling's really, really great because it eliminates the problem of having bad top decks, like drawing all land.
Exactly.
Oh,
why would we
wait.
bring that up? Because
They printed a set of 5 allied colored duels
Yep.
that cycle and have
both.
subtypes on them.
They're
So you
very
can-
spicy.
Yeah, so
These
you
are-
can
People
search
may
them
have
up with
noticed.
fetches.
These are real good.
Oh yeah, but they always enter tapped, which is not great.
That's
like
a shame,
I mean,
but they cycle.
yeah, they cycle.
You just-
So if you rip them off the top and
You're
you're
like-
flooded on land, you just get rid of them. 2 mana, you discard a card, draw a new card.
Throw it away.
Yeah.
That's like so good. Like when it's like late game clutch and you like rip a land and you're like, no, this gives you a chance to rip something else.
The only thing that could have made this any more exciting
Is it came with a candy bar.
No, if cycling was 1 blue or 1 white.
Oh, yeah, that would have been nice.
Bonkers.
That would have been nice.
But
yeah,
you know what?
I do like
cycling
the
2 colorless.
Yeah. I would have liked these if they had an untap clause, like if, the Shocklands, if they had some
think that
way of
would put
entering
them
untap,
over.
but then they would just be way too
so
good because,
busted.
the cycling lands are really good, especially we're still going to have Delirium around when the set is out.
Oh yeah, the Mothership article where they talked about these is like, think about all of those cards from the Shadows of Innistrad block that care about things going to your graveyard,
Yeah.
like all of the lands that go into your graveyard.
Yeah.
There's something that makes like a 1/1 whenever a card goes into your graveyard. Like there's
Yeah.
just so much value.
Yeah, this seems really fun. I like these cards a lot.
It's another playable duel in Highlander. It's up against some pretty stiff competition, but I think this might especially be good as like a budget choice because it's still really good.
It still works.
I doubt these are going to be terribly expensive.
No.
So-
Well, I mean, the printing volume on them is probably going to be extremely high. They're only at rare.
Yeah.
Only at rare.
No, these are
So
good.
there's going to be mountains opened because, the one thing that the Masterpiece series has done reasonably successfully is kept the cost of a lot of standard staples relatively low compared to what we've seen in the past.
I mean, it's if you want to make a format accessible, making it so
like
competitive tech or competitive deck isn't going to cost you $300 is a good way to do it.
It's like keep all your rares under $20.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
do you remember when we
all your mythics under 20 bucks.
when I first started playing Magic, Cobblade and was like, I don't have that
jeez.
kind of money,
Yeah.
right? Just because every component of it was expensive.
God, I'm just remembering Cobblade, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Squadron Hawks, Stoneforge, and Fetches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
deck was
and
so
Mana Leak?
expensive.
Yeah.
The deck was, well, I mean, the Mana Leak wasn't expensive,
Well,
but
it
the
also
deck was
played,
so expensive.
That's just like a legacy deck.
I know.
Yeah, well,
Almost.
it actually formed the basis of 2 legacy decks.
Yeah, Miracles and
Miracles and Stoneblade. Stoneblade is like a B or a C tier legacy deck.
I mean,
but-
it's still a legacy deck.
Yeah.
That's nothing to sniff at.
it's like
mean-
retired boxing champion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, that deck cost a lot of money to put together.
Yeah.
And so then you would go and you'd be like, well, I don't have several $100s to spend
I
on
guess
a
I can
standard
play
deck.
mono red and just
Why don't I play vampires? Because I can afford four $20 blood gas, and then you just get your ass handed to you.
Yeah.
Standard. Several years ago, I have complaints. Fetid Pool is also a card.
But oh yeah, I love the color of the sky in Fetid Pools.
Well,
Jonas Deroe?
Yeah. But that was also in the other. It's like in all of them. This beautiful, multicolored, cool-looking sky. It was
Yeah.
at least in the
cool
irrigated
looking.
farmland. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder if that must be a characteristic of Amonkhet.
Maybe it's because they have the
you
second
think-
sun.
Do you think
Maybe.
they're running out of names for duels?
I think they might be. Irrigated farmland is that is pretty Egyptian.
I was
right?
going to say
if
it's
you-
not a
if you
great
wanna
name,
care-
but it's very flavorful.
Yeah.
And Sheltered Thicket is fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do know
looking
what a
names.
sheltered thicket would probably be if somebody said the word to me.
Yeah.
Right?
A Canyon Slough, though.
Canyon.
Slew?
Slew.
Slough? Slew?
Slew.
Slew.
Slew. Slew.
I mean, if you know what a slew is, you're like, all right, I get it.
Yeah, a slough is another word for a swamp, kind of.
It's not a
Ish.
swamp. A slough is more of like a man-made
Bog.
swampy bog.
Yeah,
Well,
a retaining pond.
Yeah.
so
a goop factory.
we've got
Yeah.
Goop Factory. So
A mosquito mill.
Yeah.
cycling is a great mechanic to bring back. They've got a couple of new ones that are pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Ben Wheeler was talking to me talking on the Highlander Facebook group about Glorybringer, which is, as he described it, like a playable dragon. So it's
Which are not that terribly common.
He doesn't say that lightly.
Lightly.
And
Yeah.
there was some discussion because some people are like, "Oh, this looks bad," and he's like, "No, it's good."
So,
And
tell
I
us
think
about
it's at least
Glorybringer.
testable. So 3 red gets you a 4/4 with flying and haste.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty standard for dragons. Normally, if
Pretty
red's going to
decent.
make
Yeah.
you pay 5 mana,
But
it's going to
wait.
give you taste.
You may exert it as it attacks, which means that you choose to activate an ability on it at the cost of it not untapping next.
Okay,
untap
I
step.
was
it's
wondering
tired.
I was wondering what Exert did, because the only version of this card I had seen was the full art promo.
Yeah.
Oh.
And where it just
So,
had, like, if you exert this card.
Almost positive that that's how Exert works. Is
Yes,
that, like, it
I read
remains
that in
tapped.
an article on the Mothership.
So if you exert it, it deals 4 damage to target non-dragon creature an opponent controls. So it FTKs.
Nice.
It's a flying FTK with haste that attacks every other turn. Oh wait, you can exert it every time it attacks.
Yeah.
So every other turn, I think this card's kind of sweet
Yeah.
because sometimes you just like crack in, kill their guy, you've tempoed them, so you don't get to attack for a turn.
I mean,
which
if it's
sucks.
a 4/4 in the air, you've either gotten them
But-
for 4 or eaten something.
So, like,
Imagine
but it has haste, so you're already, like, attacking a turn earlier than you would
Imagine
have
if this
with
card
Yeah.
was just like a sorcery that was like deal 4 to a creature and an opponent
it. Yeah.
with like rebound a couple turns later or something. But yeah, you can untap and then you can just start attacking normally, or you can exert it again and blow up something else.
Yeah. It,
Like, I don't know, maybe
doesn't untap during your untap. So you can still untap it with other means.
Yes, actually, there in the
Like,
in the,
you
in the
can
article
flicker it.
in the article I read, it did say like if you can find a way to give your creature vigilance, that works. If you can untap it through other means, that works. But I do love like the actual like wizards thing is like it doesn't untap the next step because it's very tired.
Well, yeah, it really gave it the old college try last turn.
Yeah.
ooh, I'm all puffed out.
Yeah, it's like Glory Seeker is just like, what? I domed your opponent for 4 and I blew up their thing. You're right. I should be out running laps.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How about I have a crocodile beer instead?
Yeah.
And tell you to call me tomorrow.
Yeah, I did 4 to them and blew up their Virtuous Gear Hulk. You're right. I'm really like slacking here.
So there's one other mechanic that I'm excited about. Can you guess why?
Is it Embalm?
It's Embalm.
Oh, tell me about Embalm.
This was something that I did not expect at all, and it may end up. I don't know if it's what colors it's going to be in because we've only seen it in white,
And they come back as white zombies.
which is very weird. But yeah,
Yes.
yeah. The thing I'm excited about is I've been trying to make Zombielander as a Highlander deck work for ages. But we just don't have enough. And there's some regular zombies being printed in this set, which is cool. But there's also these creatures, which I feel like are going to be mostly humans.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
So Embalm is an activated ability
Yeah.
with an associated mana cost. For example, on Unwavering Initiate, Embalm it costs 4 and a white. Embalm reads, exile this card from your graveyard. Create a token that is a copy of it, except it's a white zombie human warrior with no mana cost. Excuse me. Embalm only as a sorcery.
Did you hear that every embalm creature will get its associated embalm token?
That's very cool.
That's
Neat.
really
So,
good.
like, this is a little bit like Unearth, but rather than getting haste and being exiled at end of turn, they just stay there
That seems
Yeah.
as
better.
a token. I think it, in some ways it is.
I am really intrigued by the point that they make that it has no mana cost, because that means they don't count towards devotion. And in a set where they have said there are gods,
I don't.
this may be hinting towards a devotion mechanic in the set. And by the time that you guys hear this, that will probably be a known quantity.
Either proven or disproven.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it's
But the fact that they actually go out of the way to say an embalmed token
has no
mana cost.
But I mean, or is that just like a rules template?
soul.
Or is that just like a rules templating thing? Just because like certain things depend, like that are not relevant on devotion, but like
Possibly. Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
yeah. It could be it could be for any number of reasons.
Yeah.
But
But anyway, the big deal for me with this is like it's a creature that's 2 creatures. So this gets me excited about aristocrats builds. Sometimes just like resilient aggro shells that like don't run out of gas. Like
and
True Heart Duelist seems pretty playable.
the fact oh, I'm sorry, Kathleen, go ahead. No, please.
My concern is like I'm looking at this, which is a 3/2 with the embalm of 5. 5 is too much for a 3/2, right? So like unless there's got to be unless there's some like good rare or uncommon embalm creatures, like I'd like.
I think it's more it reminds me of Scavenge, where it's like you're not really paying. Okay, you are paying 5 for a 3/2, but you're not losing another card over it.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. So it's a double use card.
These are all 2-for-1s.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued by the fact that it isn't just like it's embalm with an associated cost. So that I'm hoping will not always be a mana cost. Maybe
Oh
it's
man,
something
if
else
it's like sack a creature or something.
sack a, can you imagine if there's one that was like sack a creature?
Oh, I could
or
definitely
sack
see
two
it.
creatures.
I could definitely see some sort of rare with embalm.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to maybe getting some weird alternate costs for embalming a creature, which might lead to some neat stuff.
Yep.
That has me excited.
Yeah, like I feel like exert is a fun mechanic, and embalm seems like it could be a very interesting mechanic. Like there seems like lots of different ways to use this aside from just getting some extra value out of your cards.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward. to
My concern
seeing
is
these
that this
unfold.
embalm will be universally overcosted though, and like not.
Well, they have one like kind of playable. Like True Heart Duelist is 1 and a white for a bear. It can block an additional creature. But it embalms her 2 and a white.
Yeah, that seems
Like
fine.
that's pretty good.
Like honestly,
that-
2 and a white for a 2/2 that could block an additional creature each combat also seems like a fair.
also like one
cost.
card for 2 creatures eventually.
Yeah, well, also like the other nice thing is like they still keep their abilities.
Yeah.
But they just come back as mana costless zombies. So
Yeah.
you know the zombie can still block 2 creatures, which is really cool.
And I really like how they're white zombies because mummies are, you know, I'm sure they've said this on the mothership, but the idea is that the mummies are white because they are servants, right? They aren't like they aren't associated with the black mana qualities of being like selfish and ambitious. These are people who have returned to continue to serve.
It reminds me of in the original Innistrad, they talked about there were blue spirits, which were like ghosts, and
Yeah.
white spirits,
Which were like helpful friends.
which were like, you're like
Yeah,
dead
the
family
ghosts.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Oh, wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And
Most of them are pretty
you know,
good natured.
The blue zombies that were like Frankenstein monsters, and the black zombies, which were zombies,
Right.
which were risen dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really like that different, the different qualities being brought in by the associated mana cost.
Yep. So masterpieces.
Yeah, the new masterpiece for
Reprints ahoy.
Amonkhet are called Invocations, and they are a whole mess of different things, whereas like the Kaladesh Inventions were all artifacts,
Yeah.
and the Zendikar Expeditions were all lands. We're seeing Amonkhet Invocations that are creatures, instant sorceries, enchantments.
Yeah, like for example, like Dark Ritual is back as an invocation, which is sweet.
That's exciting.
But so is Aven Mind Sensor, so is Counterbalance.
Aven Mind Sensor also printed in the,
In the set,
Yeah.
we finally get to see where Aven Mind
Which is
Sensor is
exciting.
from.
Aven Mind Sensor first printed in Time Spiral, which means that at some point it had to be printed in a real set.
I like how
Aven Mind Sensor is one of
Tarmogoyf-
my all-time favorites. It's so good.
I really hope Tarmogoyf never shows up in a regular set, which means that it was time shifted from a Modern Masters set, which means it's like the time machine you occasionally see show up in fiction, which was sent back from the future,
Yeah.
which you only have because it was sent back from the future and then unearthed by archaeologists and discovered, so it actually has no creator.
Wow.
I really like the idea that Tarmogoyf has no home.
It also has no power.
So we've got an invocation up on the screen, and it's a very interesting card frame. What it does not come across here is the fact that it's very shiny as well. It's all foiled
I
out.
mean, like,
them.
yeah, the card frame has been kind of universally like given the thumbs down.
Give it at least a raised quizzical eyebrow.
Yeah, I'm wanting to see how they look in person.
Yeah, me
because
too.
like I've been skeptical of the other inventions or the other masterpieces, and then seen them in person and acknowledged they're actually quite pretty in person. I have not seen Invocation, but like I assume at some point somebody would have been like, hold up there.
Let's
we'll
try
see.
this out.
I mean, if nothing else,
So
it's very unique. It's very eye-catching.
let me can I just like go through this list of like sweet reprints?
Please
Yeah.
do.
So Cryptic Command, Chain Lightning, Aven Mind Sensor,
Yeah.
Pact of Negation,
Yeah.
Counter Spell,
Yeah. Hi.
Consecrated Sphinx. That's good. Maelstrom Pulse,
Yeah.
Wrath of God,
Uh-huh.
Counterbalance, you mentioned, Warship,
Which I didn't even remember was a card.
Force of Will.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Mind Twist, which has really sweet art.
Oh yeah, the art for Mind Twist is amazing.
I feel so I feel about Mind Twist the same way I feel about whoever the poor kid who got strip mined in like Kaladesh Draft was.
Oh yeah.
Just like the first time, it's just like, I play a land, strip mine. What?
Like a card
Like,
that is
smash
clearly
cut
from
to
a
just
different game.
Smash cut to like finishing the box of tissues, like dabbing ugly tears.
Yeah. No, smash cut to like an 8-year-old in the hotel bar, like just finishing a shot of whiskey. Like, yeah, I played Magic. It's a tough racket.
Yeah.
Just knocks it back. Mind Twist is not a fun card.
No.
Yeah. Somebody, some
love the
10-year-old
new
is
art,
going to
though.
get mind twisted off Dark Ritual
Wow, that's
on like turn 2.
Just be like, come on, man.
Discard 4.
I'm not even done. Days is being reprinted. Don't daze me, bro. Loyal Retainers.
Interesting
which
choice.
is an
how
interesting
flavorful though for the
It
set.
actually, they finally found a set that it works in. This is a card from Portal 3 Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a P3K card. It's very weird. It's 2 and a white for Human Advisor.
Yeah,
It's a
return
1/1.
target legendary creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this ability only during your turn before attackers are declared.
Yeah, you sack it to regrow or to put into play a legendary creature.
Okay, cool.
So it's odd.
Speaking
EDH
of
All-Star.
graveyard interactions, isn't Entomb in this?
Is it?
I believe Entomb is in this.
Austere Command.
There's some spicy meatballs in here, is what we're saying. Yeah, Entomb is
Attrition.
in there.
What? Diabolic Intent is in
Yeah.
this set?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I
Oh yeah, Entomb is in this set. That's really great art.
yeah.
It's some guy being buried in sand. I had no idea Diabolic Intent was
Like
coming back.
the artwork on the cards are universally pretty awesome.
Aggravated Assault. Stifle.
Yeah.
What do you think the significance of
Spell
there not
Pierce.
being any green invocations?
I don't know.
I
they
think
just
that
haven't gotten
maybe
to
we'll
it
get
yet.
those in Hour of Devastation.
Possibly.
Like, Maelstrom Pulse
It's
is
green black.
it's green black, but it's still
There's no
it's still
mono
gold.
green.
They reprinted Divert.
Like, especially considering that there's some probably like pretty choice green sorceries, instants, and enchantments and creatures that we could see in a set like Invocation. Things like Natural Order, Survival of the Fittest. Like, I don't know if those are particular, or if those are Amonkhet, right?
Natural Order doesn't seem terribly in there.
Yeah. But we'll have to
got
see what the green gods are
We've
like.
got Containment
right?
Priest.
Containment Priest, quite
And
good.
I've always wanted to play Divert, and I talked to Chiseler about it, and he's like, I always put it in my deck, and it's always stuck in my hand. Divert
Yeah.
is I can't remember what
You
set
always
it's from.
feel like it's going to be like you're
Haha,
going to like
play out.
swerve somebody's mind twist.
Right? It's gonna be
or-
awesome.
Yeah,
And then you just don't.
yeah.
It's 1 blue for an instant. Change the target spell with a single target unless it spells controller pays 2.
So,
So
like,
it's like
you-
Spell Pierce, only Swerve Pierce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, so you wait till, like, they tap out to do something really gross and awful and unfair to you, and then
They're
you're like,
like-
lol, 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 lol.
Yeah, maybe like maybe you divert their Sphinx's Revelation, right?
That would be hot.
like,
or,
and that's
or their
always the-
Bonfire of the Damned.
yeah. That's the dream you believe in.
But,
that you believe
but what actually happens is they're like Cryptic Command. You're like, oh.
yeah,
It's from Odyssey originally.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
It's
they-
a cool card.
Or they lightning bolt you turn 3, and you're like,
You're like,
oh,
It's like, do I tie up your mana for no reason? Oh,
go
well.
down a card to make you tap 2 land.
Fine, jeez. I'm pretty excited about this set.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm to briefly revisit, like, they're printing zombies in this set, so they're going to be a tribe. And I'm just like, please give me playable 1s and 2s.
yeah.
I want to make Zombielander.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so starved
Like,
for 1 and 2
Because
drops.
Zombielander, like the Zombie Highlander deck you want to build is like an aggressive deck that just is relentless.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd like it to be a little bit like my Green Mold deck.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now it's like pretty outclassed by that deck, I think. And
Right.
it may still be outclassed because like Green Mold and Black Mold, the Golgari aggro, like 2 sides of the coin, green based and black based, are really good decks.
Yeah.
Because they play really good cards.
Well, yeah, because like Green Mold plays things like Colonian Tusker, whereas Black Mold plays things like Bloodghast, I'm assuming. Like the
Yeah.
low cost double mana cost cards.
Basically, you just sort of have to choose what direction you're going to go in with your like double colored spells. And you can sneak in a few from like the opposing color because like both of them will play like Hymn to Turak just because like you just put it in.
Right.
Just make it work.
It's that good.
But yeah.
Does Miasma Mummy get in?
Maybe. It's not great. It's a
he's the
Miasma Mummy or Miasma, it's a 1 and a black for a 2/2 zombie. When it enters the battlefield, both players discard a card. It's like,
maybe
it's a
you're
bear,
getting some
but
kind
it's
of
not-
value off of this.
It's not a good bear.
Yeah, like bear with side.
It's unfortunate because like the
and there's the Cursed Minotaur is the only other one that's shown up yet.
Yeah.
The annoying thing about the zombie Highlander deck is that like the card quality starts super high and drops off like a cliff.
Right.
You're like, I totally can. Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
because like especially in the 2-drops, because you get like what was it, Relentless Dead and like Lotleth Troll and Putrid Leech, and then like some garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you're down
And
to
some
like
other garbage.
suddenly you're down to like scathed zombies.
Well, you don't go that far, but yeah, the
you-
one
like,
drops
like
are
it drops off really
yeah,
quickly.
the one drops are similar where you get like a whole bunch of 2/2s for 1, and then not 2/2s for 1,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. So
Not
one
even
ones
one
for-
ones for.
where you've got 25 exceptional cards,
yeah.
and then mana bases, and suddenly you've got to find like 30 additional cards
It's
or
just
40
like this,
additional
yeah.
cards
This
that
deck
work.
is gonna want to play like 40 or 50 creatures, and they've got to be good.
Yeah.
So,
Anyhow,
anywho,
Poor
Yeah.
scathed
speaking of
zombies.
things that are good,
what you got?
let's transition to our last topic of the day: Modern Masters 3 draft experiences.
Yeah, I've heard. I've only drafted it once, and it was on stream. You guys all saw it, and it was a long, grindy match. And
That's
neither
ex-
Graham and I were spending a lot of time in the tank, but it still went really long because
That was my experience too. I drafted it with some. I actually drafted it with some friends that included Ben and Serge just logged me into an absolutely revolting, degenerate combo. He had Venser and Deadeye Navigator. So I was not actually playing that game.
yeah, that can happen.
But I mean, good for Serge to get to
Must be-
recognize and pick that up.
Sure is EDH around here.
Yeah. So that was gross. But however, my experience was definitely no match went quickly. In
Yep.
fact, the round 2 match, or one match in round 2, went so long that Ben and I started playing an exhibition game just for fun, and had almost gotten to our second game by the time this match had
Wow.
concluded.
Yeah.
Like-
No, so it's grindy. It can be grindy.
Yeah.
Like when both sides, or when both players have resolved Falconwrath Aristocrats, or when both sides have resolved Soul Wardens.
Yeah. I was playing a green-white populate deck, so I was going wide on tokens, and it's just like, hey, I'm going to make a 3rd centaur.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a 4th centaur. Okay, eyes in the skies to block this guy. Surprise, I'll also be making a 5th centaur, right? Like, that's how,
Yeah.
Soul Warden? God, I went up to like 45 life because I picked up a Soul Warden in that deck because it's really good.
Decent.
I still lost that game though. I just got chiseled down in the air because I didn't have that many flying creatures, and like unfortunately, all of the removal went very high in this. Because like especially white removal goes into like this deck and the populate deck, and green removal is all creature based.
I played a life gain deck one time, and I end of turn secure the wastes for 10 with this in play.
Oh.
That's how you make goblins
I
scoop.
remember watching you play against Surge with your life gain deck, and I remember at one point Surge went all in and was like, all right, swing for 16. And I remember what you said to that.
What did I say? It's like,
Go to 25?
Wow.
what a silly deck.
Yeah, it was very silly.
So something very funny in our game did happen though, and I think Sturge may have been playing mind games. I think maybe he did this. He was just like, because everybody wants to play Esper in this
Yeah,
format.
as it turns out. Yeah.
Because it's sweet. And I actually was like, no, I opened Resto Angel. And was like, yeah, I mean, that's a good card. There's all sorts of things that you can do.
Absolutely.
And so I ended up going And then my second rare was Scavenging Ooze.
Oh,
So
Okay.
I was like,
Okay.
and so I was like, I like picked that up. It got past me. I don't know why it got past me, but I
Who
was like,
passes scavenging?
I don't
ooze?
know, but I was like, fuck it, I'm going green white if I can. Like I've got
Yeah.
2 sick cards.
That has to be incorrect. There's no, unless maybe there was like a foil mythic or something.
I mean, somebody pulled, like, a couple people pulled, like, very decent money at this draft, so I'm assuming that they were just like, because it was a buy-in draft, so you wanted to get your money's worth.
Can I just point out that Scavenging Ooze is one of the stupidest cards ever printed.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
It's ludicrously powerful.
Does it non-bow with Deathrite Shaman? Sure does.
Yeah.
You still play both of them.
Yeah.
You still play this in a deck with Tarmogoyf and
yeah.
Deathrite Shaman because who cares?
Yeah, they all-
It's that good.
They all
Yeah.
parasitize off each other and make
Yeah.
each other weaker. But that doesn't matter.
They're still very powerful cards. So I went green-white tokens in my draft, and green-white tokens with a little bit of just like flicker value, because I got the 6-drop that brings a 4/4 angel token in with him, because I thought
Right.
if I can populate that instead, it doesn't say populate one of the tokens from this set. It says populate a token. So anything that
Yep.
made a token, I wanted to grab.
Yeah,
And I
making
did-
angels sounds good.
Yeah, I made 3 angels one game. That was very good. I did not. I still didn't win. Like it was
Wow.
that kind. I mean, like. Like the thing is, like you could just get like I lost that game because it was like the sack a creature, loot, drain you, right? So I
Oh,
could
yeah,
make as
yeah,
many. I could make as many angels and like go the board as much as I wanted, but my opponent could also make stuff and then sack it,
Right,
and then
yeah.
just drain
The
me.
Sprouting Thrynax Jund Aristocrats
Oh,
deck is
baby.
quite good.
Very good.
For some reason, that reminds me of the time Arlo Mystical tutored Entreat the Angels to the top and then drew it. And then sat there thinking for a minute and was like, "Whoa." And then cast it for 2.
Oh, Arlo, no.
It's like, whoops. You done goofed.
Whap, whap.
I think,
Arlo.
yeah. He's doing pretty well with Esper Control.
Really? Oh, he's finally, like,
He-
shelved, in fact?
Yeah, he just gave up on Infect and is now actually, like, I think, in living the 3-1 life.
Yeah.
Just like me.
Yeah,
Wait.
fair enough.
I forgot to tell you the funny thing. So we're like going through, and the first pack is going by. I'm trying to go with green white, but I'm keeping my options open because white blue is also an archetype.
Right.
Like flickering and stuff is all very
yeah.
tied up. Everybody's of course wanting to go with Esper, as is the case with this. And then Serge is like, I think everybody's in the same archetype. I'm like, maybe I should pivot, and I'm just like, ugh. At this point, like the card quality is drying up so badly. The only cards I'm picking up are red and black, and I'm like,
Right.
maybe I want to be in an aristocrats deck.
Okay.
Like if I'm only seeing red and black cards, maybe it's time to give up on these 2 things.
Right.
And so pack 2 is another fucking disaster because I think Serge did that, and I think lots of people were like, oh no, my archetype's gone.
Right.
So everybody's pack 2 is terrible, and then by pack 3 I was like, no, my green and white cards are still the best, and I picked up like 2 Eyes in the Skies and just like slayed it at pack 3.
Okay.
But it was just a disaster. So don't tell people to pivot in your draft, and if somebody does say that, don't listen to them. Do what you're gonna do. Stay in your lane.
Stick to your guns.
Stick to your guns. If everybody's gonna have a bad
you-
deck, that's fine.
You tell everybody to pivot and then just stay where you are.
I
Yeah.
think that's what Serge did.
Ah.
No, he wouldn't do that.
It's
Maybe
like
he would.
when I first picked
Hey,
a
Serge is a nice guy, but when it comes to magic, he's ruthless.
Yeah.
when we were drafting
Yeah, he put me in a Deadeye Navigator Venture Lock. I mean, that's not something a friend does to somebody.
no, that's rude. It was like when we were drafting, I guess, Eldritch Moon on stream, and I first picked a black flip card, and Graham like is sitting immediately to my right and cuts me on black pack 1.
That's like, but I did that to Adam when Adam.
I think he also opened a really strong black card.
Well, I mean, like when I was drafting whatever it was, and like Adam was like, "I got my snake," and I'm like, "No, this is my only chance to draft this set, and I want to draft that archetype. I'm also taking a snake because I had opened at pack 1,
Right.
Neck.
Yeah.
so I just
Savage.
cut Adam savagely.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Like, really, actually?
yeah. I mean, sort of. But the thing is, like, I was passing to him, and I assumed that just because, like, I can't remember what I took, but there was a way better card that was even better for that archetype. So I was like, I've got to let this. I've already got a snake. I'm letting this other one go by. But I like took all of the other cards for that archetype. It's his fault for not recognizing it wasn't actually open.
Yeah.
Like, you don't go in after you get one thing.
Well,
Maybe
Yeah,
I'm just
well-
bad at drafting.
Here's the lesson, everyone. You can signal really hard and make sure everyone gets a strong deck, or you can play at a table with Graham and Kathleen.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Who will do what we want.
Whenever you want it. This set's going to be sweet.
Are we playing tonight in tonight's AFK?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, how is it next to you, Cameron?
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at the time.
We're all sitting next to DeVere in our drafts, aren't we?
Was she like the end boss sitting in the middle?
I just picked all the good cards.
I'm like that asshole who would take all the gates and fixing when you played when you played Return to Ravnica.
Or the person who takes all the morph cards and gain lands in cons.
Then everybody was that asshle when when Khan's
no,
flashback
it was.
came back. Everybody's like, "Let's do the 5-color wacky morph deck." It's like now nobody has a good deck. Now we're all boned.
All right,
because
it's time for some game theory.
This has gotten off topic.
We do best when we get off topic, I feel.
That's true. Cameron, any parting thoughts? You've actually drafted more Modern Masters 3 than I have.
I was really shocked that the blue-based control deck comes together as effectively as it does when its bread and butter counterspell is Rewind. Like, there's no cancel, there's no mana leak, there's no... You are playing Rewind as your common counterspell with Psychic Strike
Yeah.
as, like, your 3-mana counterspell. Which I'm sure Psychic Strike is in this. 100% certain, but now I've doubted myself, so now I don't believe it is. But in that match with Graham, I didn't have counterspells. All I was doing was Phantasmal Grasping creatures to the top of his library, and then when he played them again next turn, asking if he top decked that, because
Psychic Strike is from Gatecrash.
it's not in the set.
It's not
No,
in Modern
it's-
Masters.
Right, because the one that is in here is the Divination.
Yeah.
Right.
Divination?
Yeah. So, like,
Divination?
basically, I was really impressed that a control shell works with a 4-mana counterspell. And I am a bit surprised not to see Lightning Bolt in this set. Because I think
Or wait,
I think an aggro deck or a burn deck could have really used it.
well, they reprinted Tarfire, didn't they? Did they?
I don't believe they did.
I don't
in
think
this set.
so.
Oh, is there no Tarfire reprint in this? I actually haven't played with it or.
I didn't
Like-
see it, but that doesn't mean it's not there. I wasn't playing red.
See,
Like, the removal is a bit.
There's not a lot of removal in this
Yeah,
set.
which is, on one hand, it's nice because there are a lot of, like, creature-based synergy or synergy strategies, things like aristocrat sets or aristocrats cards and the flicker cards. So, like, having aggressively costed removal kind of is fun police against those strategies.
Yeah.
But it also means you can actually win against them.
Well, I mean,
Right.
like those games, like there is removal and there are some counter spells in this game. Like in this, there's what is the 2 and a black, or it's black and 2.
It's the one where it
That's got like
removes a creature and then mills 2.
It's got like it's like destroyed creature and then something else, and it's got like the guy. It's got like a guy on the art. I'm not being very descriptive.
Guy on the art, you say?
It's like a guy in armor.
I'm sure it's from Gatecrash, right?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
But
it's the one where it destroys a target creature and mills 2.
yes, I think so. Or,
Yeah.
Anyhow,
And we're good at this.
I know my
But yeah,
cards.
like, that's what you get instead of Doomblade.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
The removal's a little bit, and there's not as much of it, so it's snapped up quickly. But like that turns the games very long and grindy. Like that's
Yeah.
basically both of our experiences. Is that it was very like it always went to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Every match I played went to 3 games. No game was over quickly unless somebody was having some very bad mana problems, and that
Yeah.
happened. Like I saw it happen like maybe once because there's enough like fixing and stuff. Like there's.
I think
there's even a shimmering grotto if you're desperate, right?
I think there is exactly enough fixing here and enough really good cards in the set that you have the opportunity to
get real
completely
fucking greedy?
goozle yourself
Oh,
if
yeah.
you get just a little too greedy and you're like, no, I'll be fine splashing for this double black card. I picked up 2 gates. And, right?
womp womp.
And as it turns out, you aren't. Right? Like, you can just get greedy enough to completely ruin yourself in this set, which I really enjoy. But the effect of having, like, not overcosted, but more expensive generalized removal means
Grizzly
that,
spectacle.
yeah,
Thank you.
it means that usually you will get to do whatever you want to do in
Yeah,
the
see, it
set.
has a guy on it, and he's an armor.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Doing the Kirby hand.
No, Kirby hand's more like.
Kirby hand is more like surfer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 4 mana removal.
Yeah, four mana removal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not premium.
Nope.
Your 4 mana is almost certainly better invested in a card, which gums up the board.
Yeah.
But, overall, I had a lot of fun playing it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lots of decisions to make every turn. I
Yeah.
found.
Oh my god, yeah, so many decisions.
So
Well,
It's a
and all the
complicated
cards
format.
do stuff too. Like the one other thing that I really enjoyed about it was that, if you are in say you're playing Kaladesh and you've got this servo sub-theme to your draft deck, maybe you've got 5 or 6 cards that make servos and you feel pretty good about having picked those up.
Yeah.
In Modern Masters, literally every card plays into your strategy.
Correct, yes.
Right,
I did
every
not...
card is an exciting playable that you have picked up that will work in whatever strategy it is you're building towards.
Absolutely. I put together a tokens deck with a little bit of flicker, and everything either made tokens or there was no I wasn't just running a 3/3 for 3.
Yeah.
Right?
When your unexciting white 2-drop is a 2/1 first striker.
Yeah.
Right?
The closest,
Instead of a bear.
Yeah, the
right?
closest-
That's a pretty exciting set.
yeah. The closest I think I got to just a sort of vanilla creature was the green-white centaur. When it comes in, you gain 3 life, making it a very good
Centaur healer.
making it a great target for
Hell of a flicker target.
for that resto angel if you need it, or ideally something that makes a token when it comes in. Even an attended knight, right?
Yeah, Attended Knight's a perfectly fine card to flicker.
So, brief footnote. Modern Masters is a really weird set for me because it's always great news for the Highlander community because it's a ton of reprints of super playable cards for our format.
Yeah.
But I collect first printings.
Yeah, so
Only?
So maybe this drives down the price of some first printings a bit.
Actually, no. That's the weird benefit I get is I finally picked up a Damnation because it went from $80 to $35,
Right.
and I was just finally.
Yeah.
I actually get to own one of these cards because it's not insanity level expensive.
The other
that's fun.
The other function these sets have for me is that I have a Pauper Commander deck led by Ramirez DiPietro, who was printed as a common in Legends. And he's a 4/3 first striker. But all my cards are commons, and so,
So
like
when
many other
something
Pauper
gets
players...
downshifted to common, it's such good news for you.
Like Dinrova Horror.
Oh.
Which is a 4/4 for 6 that bounces a creature bounces a permanent when it enters the battlefield.
So good. It's
and then
very backbreaking.
discards... Your opponent discards a
This must
card.
be a great set for Pauper players.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
well, the last Eternal Masters, I think, whatever printed Peregrine Drake at common, was not so well received among the half of Pauper players who weren't playing that deck.
Oh dear.
So that got banned. But
Awkward.
yeah,
Oh, what? They printed that at common?
yeah,
Whoops.
yeah.
Oh.
Eternal
mercy.
Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like a free Drake?
That
You have 5 mana? How about you get a 2/3 flyer for free?
well, it also untaps
Up to 5 lands. It doesn't have to be the 5 lands. that
yeah,
you,
the Pauper deck that played this was some degenerate garbage. It was insane. They banned Cloud of Fairies and then gave them this,
Oopsie.
which just did more than Cloud of Fairies
Is
ever
Cloud of Fairies actually banned from Commander now?
did. No,
no,
it's
from
banned in
Pauper.
Pauper.
Okay. Because I do have it in my fairy deck.
Wait, is
Yeah.
it?
Because it's
Isn't
good.
High Tide a deck in Pauper? Or
I
am
don't
completely
actually
off
know.
base with
I'm
that?
sure Pauper players are frothing at the mouth right now as we kind of misinterpret their format.
I played
But
this card.
yeah, no,
It's a
fun
good card.
In Highlander.
It's a good card.
Yeah,
It's how would you like a 1/1 flyer for nothing?
yeah.
How would
if
you
you-
like
and
a
if you
1/1
don't
flyer
want
for
that-
the lands that are hard to untap?
If you don't want that, you can just cycle
throw it away.
Yeah.
Throw it away, draw a new card.
Cycle.
Anyway.
We brought our discussion full circle.
Yeah.
We've completed the cycle.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
It's time to go.
This
Yeah,
has
it
been
is.
Tap Tap Concede. We're sponsored by, once again, Card Kingdom. Visit cardkingdom.com/LRR. And when you buy something from them, they have great shipping. They're a good company. Otherwise, we wouldn't let them sponsor us. I kid you not.
Yeah.
You can say, LRR sent me button, please. And we will send you, or they will send you more accurately, a button. Right now, it's like the 459
Yeah, it's
on the clock
459 in red font.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will, and they're really great. And also by you, our generous supporters at patreon.com. Thank you for your support. Otherwise, we could not have made this really bad full cycle joke. Like, it's just quality. Your
Yeah.
money is being turned into rare, beautiful, perfect quality. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Where's my high five? No, I don't want it anymore.
Oh.